ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वति नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतो वन्दे भगवन्तो पुनः पुनः। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। अपारकरुणा सिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्। यत्कृपालेशमात्रेण पुमान् पूर्णः प्रजायते तं वन्दे ब्रह्मविद्धुर्यं सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Let us stand from the first shloka. Vedo nityamadhiyataam taduditam karmasvanushtiyatam.
वेदो नित्यमधीयतां तदुदितं कर्मस्वनुष्ठीयताम्
तेनेशस्य विधीयताम् अपचितिक्षां ये मतेस्त्यज्यताम्।
तेनेशस्य विधीयताम् अपचितिकां ये मतिस्त्यज्यताम्।
पापौघः परिधूयतां भवसुखे दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम्।
पापौघः परिधूयतां भवसुखे दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम्।
आत्मेच्छाव्यवसीयतां निजकृतात् पूर्णं विनिर्गम्यताम्।
आत्मेच्छा व्यवसीयतां निजगृहात् पूर्णं विनिर्गम्यताम्
संगत्सत्सु विधीयतां भगवतो भक्तिर्दृढाधीयताम्
सङ्गसत्सु विधीयतां भगवतो भक्तिर्दृढाधीयताम्
शान्त्यादिः परिचीयतां दृढतरम् कर्माशु सन्त्यज्यताम्
शान्त्यादिः परिचीयतां दृढतरं कर्माशु सन्त्यज्यताम्
सद्विद्वानुपसृप्यतां प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुका सेव्यताम्
सद्विद्वान् उपसृप्यतां प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुका सेव्यताम्
ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्त्यतां श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम्
ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्त्यतां श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम्
वाक्यार्थश्च विचार्यतां श्रुतिशिरः पक्षः समाश्रीयताम्
वाक्यार्थश्च विचार्यतां श्रुतिशिरः पक्षः समाश्रीयताम्
दुस्तर्कात् सुविरम्यतां श्रुतिमतस्तर्कोऽनुसन्धीयताम्
दुस्तर्कात् सुविरम्यतां श्रुतिमतस्तर्कोऽनुसन्धीयताम्
ब्रह्मास्मीति विभाव्यताम् अहरहर्गर्वः परित्यज्यताम्
ब्रह्मास्मीति विभाव्यतामहरहर् गर्वः परित्यज्यताम्
देहेऽहं मतिरुज्यतां बुधजनैर्बाधः परित्यज्यताम्
देहेऽहं मतिरुच्यतां बुधजनैर्बाधः परित्यज्यताम्
Third shloka we have seen. First two lines we have seen. In the beginning, Vedaha Nityam Adhiyatam. May one study Veda Nityam daily, regularly, and follow the karma enjoined by the Vedas, Nitya Nimittika, the karma. Ishasya Ishvarasya Bhagavataha Apachitihi Pujam Vidiyatam. May one perform puja, Ishvara puja, Nitya puja. Kamye Matihi, that got to Kamya karma, Matihi. Interest, Buddhihi. Here Matihi means interest, commitment. So one's inclination towards Kamya karma, Tyajyatam should be given up. Papogaf paridhugyatam. One should withdraw from doing papa karma, Nishiddha karma. So the four types of karma, Nitya Nimittikadi karma should be done. Veda Vigitam karma, Kamya karma and Nishiddha karma should be given up. And Bhavasukhe, Samsare, Yato Sukham Labhyate, Doshaha Anusandhiyatam. One should see the dosha, the Vishyananda. One should be able to discern the doshas, defects. Vishyanandas are endowed with these defects, natural defects. Atraptikaratvam, Bandhagatvam, Dukkamishritatvam. So therefore, it is not really sukha. Atmecha vivasiyatam atmecha. Desire to know the Atma, vivasiyatam. That one must entertain. Because only in the Atma Sukha, Vishaya Sukhas are fraught with Dukkham. Only Atma Sukha, there is no Dukkham. It is free from dosha. Dosha Ragitam Sukham is Atma Sukham, Brahma Sukham, Surupa Sukham. Therefore, to gain that, Nijagriha Turnam Vinirgamyatam, one should give up and leave the Griha. Means the Abhimana with the Sharir Masangata and the Griha and all of the relations, because of one thing that one is happy because of this, therefore should be given up. Or literally it is taking to sannyasa ashrama, that meaning. Yagrat turna minirgamyata. Then sangat satsu vidiyatam sangaha, sadhu sangaha, vidiyatam. One should take the sangha, the company, association, satsanga, bhagavata, bhagavataha, dada bhaktihi, vidiyata. One should have Ishvara bhakti. Bhakti, Ishvara bhakti. But that is our prayer, Ishvara bhakti. One must cultivate devotion. And for that, we should pray also for bhakti. As we do our daily prayer. Anayasena varanam, vina dainyena jivanam. Tegi me kripaya shambho, tvai bhakti machanchala. Tvai, Ishvare, achanchala bhakti. In this Nitya Puja, this is a sankalpa also we take. That is Dhrida Bhakti, Achanchala Dhrida Bhakti hi Praptyartam Siddhyartam Pujam Karishye iti. So Dhrida Bhakti hi Bhagavataha. Shantyadi Parichiyatam, one should collect, one should accumulate, one should gain. Samadhi Shatka Sampatti. That is Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. That is the real Sampatti one should accumulate, one should gain. That is a real Sampatti, real wealth. And Dridataram Karmasu. And karma should be given up, having known that karma cannot be the means for moksha. Karma has served the purpose of making oneself an adhikari for jnanam. Therefore, karma has served the purpose. Therefore, karma be given up. Then, sad vidvan upasrupyatam, sad vidhi pranipatena, paripashtena te sevaya. So, approaching the teacher. Savitpanagi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So Vidwan, Upasrupyatam, we should be approached. And Sevaya, Patidiram Tatpaduka Sevyatam, Guru Paduka. Guru is not different from Vishwara, therefore Paduka Sevyata means literally Sevyatam, literally worshipping or doing Guru Seva. Brahmaikaksharam Artyatam should be asked for. It's not enough to do a Seva, but one must ask. Should be asked Artyatam. Artyatam means should be sought. But Artyatam should be asked. Brahma Ekaksharam. Brahma Ekaksharam. Brahma which is Ekaksharam, which is one which is indestructible. Naksharati. The Aksharam should be asked. Then Shruti Shira. Shruti Shiro Vakyam. Vedanta Vakyam. Samakarnyatam may be listened to. Samyak Akarnyatam may well be listened to the words of the Vedanta, the teaching of the Vedanta. Iti, first two shloka. The third shloka which we are seeing, the first line talks about Shravanam, and the second line Mananam, and the third line is Nididhyasanam. Vakyartascha vicharyatam, we have seen. Vakyartaha. Vakyartaha. Vakyam means sentence. What Vakya? Tattvamasi. See, Mahavakya. So Tattvamasi, Vakyaha, Mahavakyaha. Vakyasya. Tikakara says Tattvamasi ityadi rupasya yaha artaha jivapara veda rupaha saha vicharyaha iti. Tattvam pada vachyartayoho kinchit jnatva sarvajnatvad vishishtayoho veda sambhave api lakshyartayoho abhedaha sambhavati eva yata taddesha tatkala etaddesha etatkala visishta devadatta swarupayoho अभेद संभवे अपि स्वयं देवदत्तः इति देवदत्त स्वरूप मात्रस्य लक्ष्यस्य एकत्र बोधः तद्वत्. Can easily understand, not difficult. The Mahavakya, tat Vakya is Mahavakya, tat tvam asi. There is it's an equation. Equation is required only when when two things, two seemingly unequal things are equated. Seemingly unequal, not equal. There cannot be equation between the two things which are equal. 2 is equal to 2 is not an equation. 2 plus 4 is equal to 2 plus 4 is equal to 8 minus 2. That is an equation. The two sides are not same. The numerals. That's an equation. So Tatu and Tvam, they are equated. So Tattvam pada Vachyartha, we cannot go by the primary meaning. So for Lakshyartha, we have to take Tatu referring to Ishvara, Tvam referring to Jiva. So both are equated. There is Aikyam. Akandartha Bodhaka Vakyam Mahavakyam. How can be equated? Therefore, Kinchit Nyatva, that is Jiva. Sarva Nyatva Ishvara. So Kinchit Nyatva Sarva Nyatva, the Vishishta Yogo, Dvayogo, that is Jiveshvara Yogo. Jiva is Kinchit Janati, therefore Kinchit Nyaha. Ishvara is Sarvajnaha, Sarvam Janati. So Kinchit Nyatva Sarva Nyatva, the Vishishta Yogo. Veda Sambhave api. Veda is there is clear difference. Sambhave api. Lakshyartayoho Vedaha. Primary meaning, if you take, there is Vedaha. Mukyartaha, Mukyarte. You take Mukyartha. Generally, when we take a sentence, first we take the Mukyartha. We don't take the Lakshyartha immediately. First we take the direct meaning Mukyartha. When Mukyartha doesn't fit, then only Lakshyartha. Tattvamasi, there cannot be, you cannot take the Mukyartha. Why? Because Tattva referring to Upadhi, Upadhi, Upagita Chaitanyam, then Anupagita Chaitanyam. All these three are put together is what is referred to by the word Tattva, that is Sagunam Brahma. Similarly, Tvam referring to Upadhi, Jiva Upadhi, Upadhi Upagita Chaitanyam, then Anupagita Chaitanyam, all the three. These three put together referring to Jiva. And therefore, Samashti is Ishvara, Sarvajnatam, Sarvam Janati. For Ishvara, it is Maya, is Upadhi. For Jiva, it is Ajnanam. Therefore, Jiva is Kinchit Nyaha. Therefore, there is a huge difference between these two. Now can be equated. We have to dismiss Upadhi. And Upadhi, Upagita Chaitanyam. Upadhi is Mithya, therefore, Chaitanyam manifesting through Upadhi. The Pratibimbita Chaitanyam also Mithya. then we are equating to Anupagita Chaitanyam. Chaitanyam. So Lakshyartha we have to take. As in the Drishtanta we say, Taddesha Tatkala Devadatta. Devadatta whom I saw 20 years before. Etaddesha Etatkala Devadatta. Devadatta whom I see now, currently. So this Devadatta Yoho, two Devadatta, that Devadatta and this Devadatta. Devadatta Rupa Yoho, Devadatta Rupa Yoho. Abedaha Asambhavayati. There is clean difference. Impossibility of the non-difference between the two. It means there is huge difference between the two. Even though difference is a Soyam Devadatta, we say, because Lakshyartasya Ekatta Bodhaha Tadvate. So that this is that Devata. How can we equate this is that Devata? 20 years before he was a kid. Now he is a grown up and he has got developed mustache. How can we say this? This is that Devata? Even though there is seeming difference, but it's the same person. Swayam Devata. Tadvata. So Lakshyartha we take. So therefore Vakyarthascha Vicharyatam. Vakyarthascha Vicharyatam. It is Shravanam. Listening to the words of the Shastram and do the Vicharadi analysis. That is called Mimamsa. All these things happen when you listen to the Shastra. Upakramadi Shatlingaihi Tatparya Nirnayaha Mimamsa, and that is called Shravanam. What is Shravanam? Tatparya Nirnaya Vedanta Shastrasya Tatparya Nirnayaha is Shravanam. That is arrived at. The Tatparyam is arrived at by applying the Shatlinga, Upakarma, Upasamhara, Abhyasa Purvatapalam, Arthavadopapattischa, Lingam Tatparya Nirnaye. Therefore, analysis of the statement of the Shruti. Sometimes the Shruti Vakya seems to be contradictory. Therefore, when there is a seeming contradiction, Shastra cannot say contradictory things. There are only seeming contradictions. Therefore, you have to look for the solution, not outside the Shastra. Please look in the Shastra itself. Therefore, Shruti Paksha Samashiyata, sticking to the words of the Shruti Shira Vedanta Vakya, we have to arrive at the Tatparyam. So, therefore, only we say the logic should be in keeping with the logic of the Shruti, not Dustarka. Dustarka, the mind also should be convinced about the teaching. Therefore, some logical rationality, logical support is to it. And for that, Shruti Matastarka, that logic also should subserve the Shruti. It should not be, the logic should not dismiss the Pramanam. If logic dismisses the Pramanam, then the logic should be dismissed. Because Shastram being a Pramanam, therefore we have to give the benefit of doubt to the Shastram. Shastre Pramanya Buddhi, one must have Shraddha. Therefore, that Tarka, that logic is Dustarka. Dustarka is the Tarka which is the logic, which may seems to be logical, but if it is contradicts the Shruti Vakya, then it should be dismissed. It should subserve the Shruti. It should be in keeping with the Shruti. So therefore, Shruti Paksha Samashriyatam Dustarka Saviramyatam. Samashriyatam Samik Ashriyatam. Shruti Pakshaha. Tatparya Vishaya Bhutartaha Samashamik Ashriyatam. Dustarka. Dustarka is Dushtaha Tarkaha. Dushtaha is Shruti Viruddhaha is what is Dushtaha? Dushtaha, the word is used because it is contradictory to the teaching of the Shruti. We cannot prove by logic what Shastram reveals. We can prove by logic. Then Anumanam itself is enough. Why do we need Shastra? Anumanam being a Pramana. Pramanam itself will do. Shastram is not required. Shastram is a Pramanam, therefore we give logic, but logic is in keeping with the Shruti, it's for convincing our buddhi. It is only to convince our buddhi. Because there are other darshanas, other philosophies, other views, perceptions are there with regard to the cause of the Jagat, Ishvara and Jiva Swarupa. Some say Dvaitam is the truth. Tat atatvam asi, not tatatvam asi. Tat atatvam asi. That is Jiva Ishvara, Vedaha is Satyam. The Jagat is not Mithya, it is Satyam. Jagat is Satyam, Jiva is Satyam, and Ishvara is also Satyam. Jiva is a part of the Paramatma, therefore Vedaha. So therefore, when when such interpretations are there, and therefore, and the logic is given, the logic is given with the drishtanta, the example. Examples do not prove the logic. Examples are given to support the logic. The logic cannot be just established by example. It is example to support the logic, and the same logic can be countered by another logic with another example. So, therefore, examples do not prove. So, therefore, the Nyaya Grantha Brahma Sutra, it doesn't prove Brahma logically. It gives logical support to prove the Aikya. So, logical support. So, once we have logical support, our buddhi is convinced. All the doubts. The mananam is nothing but removal of doubts. Removal of doubts and having the vision clearly, obstruction free. These doubts, samshaya is a very big obstacle. Samshayatma vinashyati, as Bhagavan says in the Gita. Am I Jagat Karanam Brahma? That should come out of conviction. That is what is Jnanam, that is Moksha is. I may be Brahma, that cannot be that Jnanam. It is, in fact, it is Ajnanam only. It is Pratibadha Jnanam. Pratibadha Jnanam is Ajnanam only. So Samshaya is a big obstacle. That is the first obstacle to be dealt with. After that, only Viparita Bhavana, which is taken care by Viridhyasana. So Samshaya, the doubts, the vagueness, something Vedanta teaches, I understand vaguely, not clear. Clarity is not there, it is not Jnanam. So Jnanam should be clear. As you see the sun, daylight, you see things, it should be clear. Clarity, there should not be any vagueness. And no amount of this, the logic or the convincing statements should take you away from the vision of Jiveshwara Aikya. That must be there. Therefore, one must have thorough understanding, one must have clear darshanam, clear vision of what the Shastram reveals. Therefore, the mind free from doubts. Samshaya Ragita Jnana. So for that only this tarka, the support of tarka is taken. And that should be free from and that should be free from that tarka, the logic should be in keeping with Shruti Mata. It should be in keeping with Shruti Mata. It should be free from Shruti Asammata. Should not be Shruti Asammata. Should be Shruti Sammata. So therefore, that is Shruti Sammata Tarka. What is called? It is Tustarka. Shruti Asammata Tarka is Dustarka. Dushtaha is Abhataha. Shruti Viruddhaha. Tarkaha Yuktihi. So therefore, Dustarka Suviramyatam. Sushtu Viramyatam. Then Shruti Matas Tarko Anusandhiyatam. From what we should withdraw and what we should take. Anusandhiyatam. Anusandhiyatam. Anusmaryatam. So Shruti Pratikola Tarka, that is Dustarka. So Dustarka, Shruti Pratikola. So that should be Suviramyatam, should be avoided. And Shruti Matas Tarka Anusandhiyatam, that one should take. So therefore Shruti Matas Tarka Anusandhiyatam. Shruti Mataha, Shruti Sammataha. Shruti Tatparya Anuguna Anugraha Ityartaha. Tarkaha Yuktihi Anumanam. So again Tikakara says Shrottavyaha Mantavyaha iti Shravanantaram Manana Vidhanena Mananasya Yukti Anuchintana Rupatre Shuthartha Thardhyartathaya Avashikatvena Shutyadeyaha Anubhavadayascha Tata Sambhava Iha Pramanamiti Bhashyena Shruti Atirikta Pramana Svikarena Tasya Avashikatvena Dustarkasya Shutyartha Virodhitvena Pariharyate Api Sattarka Tarkaha Tvaya Avashyam Iha Anusandeya Iti Sattarkaha. It is Avashyam Anusandeya. Shutimatas Tarka, you should Anusandhiyata. Should be taken, should be reflected upon the Tarka, which is Sattarka, not Dustarka. Because Dustarka is Shuti Virodhitvena, Virodhitvat. After Shravanam, Mananam is already Shrottavyaha, Mantavyaha, Atmavare, Dashtavyaha, Shrottavyaha, Mantavyaha, Rididhyasitavyaha. So Shravanam, after Shravanam, Mananam is ordered. Shravanantaram, Manana Vidhanena. And Mananasya, what is Mananasya? Yuktihi. Anuchintanam. For what? Shuthartha Dhardhyartathaya. In order to make the Shuddha Artha, what has been listened to, Shravanam, Dhardhyartathaya, to make it very firm. Therefore, it is Avashyakam. It is Avashyakam. So, therefore, Mananam should be done. And that should be in keeping with the Shruti. Up to this we saw. Now, the third line, Brahmasmi, Vibhavyatam. Brahmasmiti Vibhavyatam. Agar agar garva parityajyatam. This line talks about Nididhyasanam. So, Nididhyasanam. Mananam is free from vagueness and doubt. Okay. The mind is now free from vagueness and doubt. Assuming that Shamanam, the Tatparya of the Shruti is clearly ascertained and Mananam has been done. Now there is no samshaya, no vagueness, there is clarity, but still I don't enjoy the jnana phalam. I'm the same good old person. So Agam Brahmasmi iti, that is clear in Buddhi. In Buddhi it is clear. I understand it well. But when it comes to Vyavahara, when it comes to my interaction in the world, I'm the same good old person. I respond to the world the same way as I responded before. I respond emotionally. There's an emotional response, a reaction to the stimuli of the world. So all these have got some psychological background. The all these are because of the association, the pain associated with the ahankara. Ahankara is it is not yet sublated. It is ahankara aham iti. So when I respond that ahankara is always invoked. Ahankara is always painful. Ahankara is limitation. Ahankara is this deha, shriya, mana, sangata, the upadhi, that abhimana is therefore aham limited to this upadhi, therefore ahankara is, because it is limited, therefore it is painful. It invokes the pain. Therefore only I have guilt, I have hurt. So therefore ahankara, aham karta, bhakta, and when I do there is hurt and there is guilt also when others do to me. So all these are there in the interaction. This is emotional aspect. This has not changed. Though in the Buddhi I am convinced about the truth revealed by the Shastra. This is what we say. Even though the teaching is clear, I understand. But that teaching it's not reflected in my vyavahara, in my life. So this has to be handled. Even though I understand why it is doesn't reflect in my interaction. Because of the previous orientation. This is what we call viparita bhavana. This is what the purva pasana. For that only we require viparita bhavana, and that is done by nididhyasana. Therefore, nididhyasana should be done. Therefore, nididhyasanam. So therefore, the ahankara, the I is generally associated with, identified with this body, mind, senses. Therefore, and body, mind, these senses are anatma. Therefore, it is limited. The parichinnatva, therefore, it is dukkam only, painful. Therefore, we need to contemplate on the truth, aham brahma, iti, aham, on the understanding, aham brahma, we need to contemplate. And therefore, nididhyasanam to be done. This is what is dealt in the sixth chapter of the Gita, nididhyasanam. And even in Kathopanishad, we have seen samadhi abhyasa rupa nididhyasanam, brahma abhyasaha, samadhi abhyasa rupa, samadhi abhyasa, and brahma abhyasa rupa nididhyasanam, samadhi abhyasa rupa nididhyasanam, brahma abhyasa rupa nididhyasanam. The nididhyasanam is done for two things: to know that what I am not, and to know what I am, to see what I am, to see what I am not, and to see what I am. So for this I should be freed from all these emotional issues, psychological issues, which has its own background. Therefore, one has to contemplate on this I. Therefore, do nididhyasanam. In the nididhyasanam, there we have this clarity, more clarity, that the abhimana with the ahankara is dropped, and that we recognize the fact, the truth, aham shuddha chaitanyam, aham chit, atmani deha buddhihi parityajata. So that is there because of the previous orientation. Atma deha iti, dehatma buddhihi parityajata should be given up. Atma is deha iti buddhihi. Atmani dehatma, deha buddhihi. That is because of the programming, because of the previous orientation. Atma is separate from Deha. Deha is Atma, but Atma is not Deha. That is the understanding. That is understanding what we got out of Shravanam and Mananam. Therefore, all the problems, if you see, they arise because of the Abhimana with the Stula Sukla Sharira. Therefore, one should contemplate upon that and see Aham Brahma Asmi iti. Aham Deha na Asmi. Deha is me, but I am not the Deha. That equation must be clear. Deha, Aham must be into Aham Atma, Aham Atma Deha na iti. As Bhavan beautifully said in the ninth chapter, the Satyam Mithya. Matstani Sarabhutani, Nachaham Teshu Avastitaha. Nachamastani Bhutani. This Deha is Atma, but I am not Deha. Therefore, Atma being Asangaha. In spite of Deha, Aham Asangaha iti. So Deha has its own dharma, has its own things, qualities, it will undergo. But I am not touched by it. So that is done by Nidhyasana meditation. And this can be done, as I told, in two ways. Either one can sit and contemplate that Aham Atma Asangaha, Abhyayaha, Nityaha, Shuddhaha, Muktaha, Satyam. Take up the Vakya of the Shruti and one can meditate. Aham Atma Avyayaha. Atma is Avyayaha, not subject to change. Aham Atma Avyayaha is one Vakya. Swamiji takes this Avyayam and the whole meditation session is on Avyayam. Aham Atma Aham Avyayam. I am not subject to declaration. I am not subject to change. You have to see the Mithyaatma and that is, once you see it goes away. Find the Lakshya. Lakshya of the is Aham Atma Satyam Asangaha. That is me. I am the Lakshyata of every word. So therefore, every word resolves into myself without objectifying myself. This is done in the seat of meditation. That is what Dhyanam Nididhyasanam. The sixth chapter of the Gita is called Dhyana Yoga. The Dhyanam, many things are common for Dhyanam and this Upasana. For us, Dhyanam is Nididhyasana. Because we know the object of meditation. The Dhyaya Vastu is what we know. Because Shamanam, Mananam has been done. Without knowing Dhyaya Vastu, how can you meditate? People say meditate, meditate. What to meditate and what? Without knowing what should be meditated upon, how can one meditate? But meditation follows Shravanam. Meditation follows Shravanam. So therefore, but simple meditation doesn't work. It has no meaning at all. When people say, who am I inquiry? Who am I inquiry can be done only when you know what I am, as revealed by the Shastra. Then only it can be meditated upon. Otherwise, who am I just it becomes a sentence that is repeated, at least nowhere. So therefore, seeing the meaning of the words of the Shastram as myself without objectifying myself, because I am that and the subject cannot become the object. So I am the meaning of the words. So Lakshyartha of the words of the beast. When we say Satyam, Asangaha, it is Aham. Aham means what is the Sharira? Stula, Sukshma? No. Indriyani? No. So everything we dismiss. What I am not should be seen and what I am should be seen. After dismissing what cannot be dismissed. That cannot be objectified. That is myself. That is what is done in the seat of meditation, Vidhyasana. This is done seated in the seat of meditation. Sitting in the seat of meditation. And another way of doing Vidhyasana is one brings to the conscious mind this teaching, the Jagrata Avastha, and lead an alert life. So that is second one. One is with eyes closed in the seat of meditation. Other one is with eyes open in the interaction. The person leads an alert life. Aham Atma Asangaha Nityaha Satya. All these are very So all these are in the conscious mind. He knows it is, and deal with the people and deal with the situations, not getting affected. Therefore, his response would be different. Now, his response is not from the ahankara. Now, his responses will be thoughtful responses. It will be a cognitive response. The response will be free. It will be a response. It is not a reaction. It will be out of understanding. So therefore, aham atma satyam, tat sarvam mithya. Therefore, mithya. When mithyaatvam is clearly understood, then the response would be proper. So for that only nididhyasanam. We are not saying that world should be dismissed. World has got satyam, vyavaharika satyam. I am paramatika satyam. How can be touched by vyavaharika satyam? How can I be paramarthika satyam be subject to hurt or guilt or pain problems? Therefore, the reactions on my part gradually will decrease with more understanding. Seeing that there are no issues, this is what is jnanam is. Therefore, jagat is mithya. So jagat is mithya, aham satyam. Therefore, this mithya jagat cannot create any dent in me. Therefore, leading a alert life. So removing viparita bhavana with an alert mind. That is the second method. Second method of nididhyasana. First method is the seat of meditation, contemplation, and removes viparita bhavana. Second method is while being interactive with the world. All the teachings of the Shastra are very much there in the head, available all the time. Nididhyasana. So that is a nididhyasana. So therefore, nididhyasana is meant to remove the obstacles. Obstacles, that is viparita bhavana. So it is the orientation. It is because of the orientation that taking Atma to be the body from Anadikala, that is removed. So therefore, and it cannot be just corrected one time. It should be corrected because it is deeply programmed. So therefore, it has to be done regularly till we clearly see Aham Atma Sangaha iti. So therefore, because of orientation, since this is deeply entrenched in the mind, therefore we have to repeatedly contemplate. Aham Brahma Asmi. Suppose Brahma Asmi iti vibhavyatam dehatma buddhi parityajyatam. So therefore, there is no question of how long one should practice nididhyasana. Should be practiced till the viparita bhavana goes, till there is no pratibandha. Therefore, should be done till the viparita bhavana goes away. Therefore, aham brahma asmi, brahmevasmi vibhavyatam, by leading an alert life, and the alertness continues throughout the day. And agar garva parityajyatam, agankara, garva parityajyatam. So once viparita bhavana goes, that is the error. And samshaya not there. Then the knowledge is clear. Then jnana palam. So until one gains nishta, one has to continue doing this nididhyasana, continue doing the meditation. And agar garva parityajyatam. Agankara should be given up. Agankara, how do you given up? Only when understanding you give up. Understanding that agankara is mithya, by contemplating an agankara, seeing agankara as Brahma, but Brahma is not agankara. So therefore, the ahankara goes away when it is mithya. It doesn't have any ashraya. Where it will, when it is mithya. Once you know it is mithya, it cannot stay, it will go away. Ahankara just goes away. Therefore, that is a powerful obstacle, therefore it should be removed. By knowing what it is, once the nature of ahankara is known, it goes away. Otherwise, it will pose a big obstacle. Therefore, nididhyasana to be done. Therefore, Aharaha Garbha Parityajata. Aharaha Garbha Parityajata. So by contemplating, Ahankara is Brahma. Ahankara also Brahma, but Brahma is not Ahankara. Now Ahankara becomes sublated Ahankara. For Jnani, Jnani also has got Ahankara, but Ahankara is sublated Ahankara, like a burnt rope. It cannot bind the person anymore. So, therefore, Agaraga Garbha Parityajita. So, Agaraga, that Agaraga can be taken on both sides. Agaraga is daily, Pratidinam. Agaraga Brahmasmi iti Vibhavyata. Agam Brahma Asmi iti Vibhavyatam every day. That Agaraga can be taken to the Garbha Parityajatam. That word, that side also we can take. So, Agaraga can be, we can connect to both. Either it can be connected to Aham Brahmasmi iti Vibhavyatam Agaraga Pratidinam. Or Agaraga Garbha Parityajatam. Garbha, the Ahankara, pride should be given up every day at all times. So the Agaraga can be connected to the words on the left side as well as on the right side. This is it is the threshold. It's called Dehali Nyaya. Like the light on the threshold illuminates both sides. Similarly, the word which is in the middle can be connected to either side. So Agaragaha Brahmasmi iti Vibhavyatam Atava Agaragaha Garbha Parityajyatam. So Brahmasmi iti Pratidinam Anudinam that can be Adhyahari, can be brought in, that Agaragasa can be connected. So by bringing that, we have the meaning Sarvakalikvam, Bodhyam, all the time. Then Garbaha is Jnanitta Abhimanaha, that Abhimana. So that should be given up. Then Dehe Agammati Rujyata. Deha is Stula Sukshma, both. Agam iti matihi, agam matihi, karmadharya, compound. Dege with regard to Dega, Stula Sukshma, Sharireshu, this agam iti buddhihi matihi, ujyata, parityajyata ityartaha. Ujyata means parityajyata. Satyaga purvakam eva, atma dhyanena, Dega atma jnana, prachya vadatma jnanam eva, tridam bhavati iti bhavaha, Tikakara says. So by Tyaga Purvaka, that Ujyatam, giving up the Abhimana with the Sharira, the Deha Buddhi, Dehatma Buddhi, Atma Dhyanena, Jnanam Dridam Bhavati. Jnanam becomes stronger, becomes Dridam, Dridamiti Bhavaha. In the last line, last part of this shloka, Buddha Janaihi Vada Parityajata. Vada is argument. Argument with whom should be given up? Buddha Janaihi. Vadaha Vadati iti Vadaha. Vadaha Vivadaha Kalaha. The Vada Tyaga with regard to the Buddha Jana, the wise people. Don't argue with the wise people. You can have satsang with them, but not argument. Because a lot of things can be learned from them. They are informed people. They know the truth. Therefore, not Vada, it should be Samvada, in fact. Vada should be given up. Samvada should be done. Vada should be avoided. Vada is argument. Samvada is dialogue. Knowledge takes place only through dialogue, not by Vada, not by argument. There's a huge difference between Vada and Samvada. There cannot be Vada between the teacher and the student. There cannot be Samvada between the two people who are not teacher and the student. So in Vada, what happens? A person looks upon the other person as either equal or lower. inferior. So therefore there is a superiority complex. But in Sambhada, what happens? Sambhada, the disciple, looks upon my teacher as someone who is greater than me, superior to me, because he is the treasure house of knowledge. So therefore, I look upon him. I, I look forward to listen to his words, his teaching. That's why Tadvati Pranipatena Pariprasthena Iti. Therefore, there is complete attitudinal difference in both. So in Vada, there is an arrogance, an attitude of arrogance. In Sambhada, there is a Vinaya. There is Vinaya before Vidya, after Vidya, Vinaya is required. Vidya, Vinaya Sampanne. Vinaya comes out of Vidya. And for gaining Vidya, we need Vinaya. So Vada, Sambhada implies Vinaya on the part of the Shishya. And therefore, in Vada, there is no Vinaya. In Vada, there, in fact, the way the person talks, the tone and all will be different. In Sambhada, the tone is a very submissive tone. There is some decency in the language. Attitude is there. So all these are in Sambhada. In Vada, you don't come to any conclusions. Conclusions are pre-made. It is determined. You try to prove your point. There is no knowledge transfer. You are not interested in correcting your conclusions. In fact, you want to prove your conclusions, establish your conclusions on the other person. So you're trying to convince the other person or corner the other person. Though your conclusions may be wrong. Whereas Sambhada, it is I'm open and open to receive because I want to learn. There is an attitude of learning. So I don't know, therefore I seek from the person who knows. So I'm ready for clarification, ready to accept. So therefore that's a huge difference between Vada and Sambhada. In Vada, the mind is not ready. It has already concluded. Whereas in Sambhada, it is open. In Vada, the person talks more. In Sambhada, the person remains silent. He allows the other person to talk because there is learning involved. Therefore only the student talks less and the teacher talks more. The student asks only questions. The teacher answers, clarifies his doubts. So therefore, the listening, that is what listening is. So Shravanam only in Sambhada, not in Vada. And I don't question the authority of the Shastram or the teacher. There is complete submission. If any doubts are there, he has, that is allowed, but not with the intention of dismissing the teacher or the teaching. So at the end of Sambhada, you get clarity, you get knowledge. Whereas in Vada, before the beginning of the Vada, there is disturbance and the disturbance continues. So there is no conclusion. There is no gaining involved. It's only bitter feeling. So therefore, there is a huge difference between Vada and Sambhada. So Buddha, here Vada, even the Buddha Jana. Here Acharya says, Buddha Jana ki Vada Parityajata. It should be Sambhada. Therefore, Sambhada is a proper type of dialogue, conversation for learning. Therefore, Buddha Jana ki Vada, one should give up the Vada. So Buddha Jana ki Vada Parityajata. So this shloka is done. Then the next shloka, let us read. Shuddhyadischa chikitsyataam pratidinam ikshaushadham bhujyataam.
Shuddhyadishcha chikitsataam pratidinam
प्रतिदिनं
ikshaushadham bhujyatam
पूज्यताम्
Swadvannam natu yachyataam vidhi vashat praktena santushyatam.
Svatmannam natu yatyataam vidivashat praptena santushyatam.
प्राप्तेन
सन्तुष्यताम्
Shitoshnadi vishakyatam natu vritha वाक्यं समुच्चार्यता
शीतोष्णादि विषः
शीतोष्णादिविषह्यताम्
यताम्
न तु
वाक्यं
वृथा
स
वाक्यं
वृथा वाक्यं
समुच्चार्यताम्
समुच्चर्यताम्
औदासीन्यमभीप्स्यतां जनकृपा नैष्ठुर्यमुत्सृज्यताम्
औदासीन्यमभीप्स्यतां
औदासीन्यमभीज्यताम्
जनकृपाणैष्ठुर्यमुत्सृज्यताम्
जनकृपा
जनकृपा
नैष्ठुर्यमुत्सृज्यताम्
मृत्सृज्यताम्
उत्सृज्यताम् not
मृत्सृज्यताम्
mृत उत्सृज्यताम्
मृत्
जनकृपा
तकार
नैष्ठुर्यम् उत्सृज्यताम्. Okay,
उत्सृज्यता
this is
उत्सृज्यता
the, yeah. Fine. So here the Upadesha is given with regard to which is conducive for Nididhyasa. You can see the similarity in the Gita 6th chapter, Dhyanam, Dhyana Yoga. There Bhagavan says, Yuktahara Viharasya, Yukta Cheshtasya Karmaso, Yukta Swapnava Bodhasya, Yogo Bhavati Dukkaha iti. And he also gives a caution, Natyashnatastu yogosi, yogos nachaikantam anishnataha, nachati swapnashilasya, jagruto naiva charjuna. So that idea is taken here that the food should vyadischa chikitsyata, should this anger, should vyadihi. Either we can take should vyadihi separately, should dakaranta shabda. So should and vyadihi. Or should itself is the vyadi. Anger is a disease. So should therefore if you take this separately, then should chikitsatam vyadi is chikitsatam. Chikitsatam, the treatment should be done for both anger as well as the vyadi. Or should eva vyadihi. Then should vyadihi cha also should, which is the disease that should be treated chikitsatam. So either way we can take it. So here, important upadesha for the seeker of knowledge. Upadesha for controlling the important sense organ, jakhva, tongue. The tongue plays too, it is said as though Indriya, it is meant for taste as well as speech. Both are problematic when not controlled. The tongue as ruchi for taste. Though the stomach is full, the tongue will ask for more. That is why we say, Annena puryet ardham, toyena tu tritiyakam, udarasya turiyamsham, rakshet vayucharane. The stomach should be filled off and one quarter with the water. Other one quarter should be left free. Because one has anger. Doesn't mean that one should fill the stomach completely with food. So therefore, the tongue control with regard to eating. With regard to eating is given here, is suggested here, that the tongue control. And food is compared to the medicine. You don't consume the medicine in huge quantities. Similarly, food also should be looked upon as a medicine because anger is a disease. As any other disease, anger also a disease. A disease is not a comforting thing. Therefore, there's disease, we feel discomfort. Similarly, when anger comes, there is discomfort. So that also should be looked upon as a disease, and that you treat the disease, anger disease. The only difference between other diseases and anger disease occurs every day. Therefore, every day should be treated. There is no other choice. Every day should be treated. It cannot be cured forever. Therefore, treat it out. Yuktahara, viharasya, yuktachishtasya karmasu, yuktahara. So, you take the dosage as much it is required. As much dosage you take when there is some disease. Similarly, eat only as much required. That is what said. Fill the stomach, half of your stomach with annam and 1/4 with water. Remaining 1/4 should be left. In fact, half stomach is always good. So the quantity is that the dosage, how much should be given, that is suggested. So therefore, eating food for the sake of maintaining the, the, the healthy condition of the body, not for taste. So therefore, that's why Bhiksha. In Bhiksha, the sannyasi goes for Bhiksha. In Bhiksha, you don't get tasty foods. In fact, you get sometimes stale food. Whatever comes, vidivashat, praptena santushyata, whatever comes by vidivasha, that one has to be contented with that. Dhricha lava santushtaha. So that should be the attitude of the seeker, not only of the sannyasis. In fact, it is for all the seekers. With regard to food, so the chikitsa for the kshud vyadi is eating. Chikitsa, the word, derived from kit roga nivarane, guptij kit vyasan, that meaning. So nivritti of this, the kshud vyadi, done by eating. Therefore, with regard to eating, one should be careful, eat for the sake of maintaining the sharira, the arogyam of the body. Therefore, food is aushadam. Therefore, food is compared to aushadam. Bhikshaushadam, bhujyata, pratidinam. It is every day. And also, one should not ignore the body by not taking food. Because as we attend to the disease, similarly, this hunger also disease should be attended to every day. The body should not be ignored. As Buddha also did the same thing, then he realized, then follow the middle path that should be given. Body should be taken because shariram kalu dharma sadhanam. Therefore, one should pay attention. This is another big mistake which generally a seeker does. One need not pamper the body, but body also should not also be discarded. Should not, because without that, how can we take up the sadhana? Because whether shravanam, mananam, or jnana sadhanam, or even karma sadhanam. So therefore, it is meant for. It is as a sadhanam. It's got its importance. Therefore, it is meant for using appropriately, not for discarding. Therefore, one should not ignore or injure the body. Similarly, by doing tapas, one should not injure the body. The body should be tapas. When upavasa, it's a tapas. Upavasa is a deliberate thing which is taken. That is to develop some control over the hunger. Only on one day. It is not that it is not that body is deprived of food throughout the year or month. Only on a particular day that body is given rest. That is deliberately done. That is good. But one should not ignore the shariram. Therefore, pratidinam bhiksha uchadam. Bhiksha is the aushada. Aushada is medicine. And what is the medicine? Bhiksha. Bhiksha is the medicine. So, bhiksha uchadam bhujyatam. Bhiksha is the aushada, the medicine, bhujyatam. May one consume. So, when you consume the medicine, as you don't complain, similarly, when you consume jannam, one should not complain. Swadvannam natu yachetam. Don't ask for the swadvannam, delicious food. If it comes, it is fine. If it doesn't come, that is also fine. So there is no anchoring for the tasty food. The tongue is under one's control. If it comes, it is fine. He enjoys. If it doesn't come, that also is fine. Therefore, he doesn't seek for swadvannam. Swadvannam. Tatu yachetam. Don't do the yachana. Sadhvanam natu yachetam. Don't ask for swadvanam, delicious food. So therefore, bhiksha should not be a planned bhiksha. Whatever comes, it is taken vidivashat, praptena, Santushyata. So it's all vidivasha, prarabdha. What you get today is your prarabdha. You get, Swamiji used, it tells, even if you are in the mid forest, nobody is around, you are left alone. And if there is prarabdha for you, that you should get food, you will get it. Somehow you will get it. Suddenly a fruit may fall from the tree. That becomes your food. You will get food if the prarabdha is. If prarabdha is not there, even if you are in the midst of a busy city, there are many restaurants, you will not get food. So it's all prarabdha. So therefore, vidivashat prapte santushitam. And here should be noted, there is instructions only for the sannyasi, not for the grihastha. Grihastha, in fact, should cook and offer to sannyasis who come for diksha. Then Shitoshnadi, that line we will see in the next class. Stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.